Hey everybody, welcome back to the Family Mart podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Jay. Welcome back. I want to shout out our new patrons real quick. We got Shelby and Francesca in the building. Thank you so much for joining the Patreon. You can sign up right now at patreon.com/FamilyMartPod, where we have bonus episodes from me and Wiz, as well as exclusive content, as well as the best Discord in the universe.
Today, our special guest is a content creator, a host on Think Media, which has over 2.2 million subscribers, a golfer, a father, a husband, and one of the best beards in the game, Omar.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. Shout out to D. Witters, my barber.
He keeps you right every week?
Yeah, twice a week.
Ooh, we're on 2 a week.
You just get to a certain level sometimes.
Damn, holy shit, twice
like the whole head or just the beard?
A beard twice a week for sure, and then a cleanup on Tuesdays. So like full cut Saturdays, and then we get the cleanup on Tuesdays.
Is this a home service or you're going to see him?
I'm going to see him.
Okay. Next level though is home service.
No, for sure. I'll get there.
Damn, that's fire, bro.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Is your hair growing like that or no?
What do you mean?
To where you need twice a week?
Everyone could use twice a week.
I think we could use that.
That's a lot.
I mean, I'm Arab, so.
Oh, well, different. Yeah, you grow faster.
It's coarse and fast.
You grow faster. Arabs grow faster.
Yeah, because is yours growing at that rate where you need it twice a week?
I could probably, because at day 7, it's like you lose the line, the fade is gone. It's just like a layer.
Yeah.
Very
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we have Omar here today.
Pumped, man. Thanks for having me, guys. For real.
Of course, man. Well, we're honored to have you because you have so much value to give to people. But even aside from that, you guys have known Omar for way before he started doing all this, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
This is one of my day one friends.
Day zero
from pretty much when I moved here. Like one of the first people I met.
Yeah. Oh, for real? Y'all did go to high school.
Yeah, it was actually like a small world moment when I found out you were cousins.
Oh, yeah.
So when that happened, I was like, oh, dang, because I was really close with Jay, and then I got really close with you.
Yeah.
And then...
Oh, so you didn't know that we were late at the time you...
Yeah, it wasn't until like one of the Christmases, like a couple years in, I was like, why are you guys at each other's house right now?
Hey, yo, is there something going on between you? Yeah.
But high school, Jay came and always had the sneakers from his bros, unless they were yours.
No, most of them were mine, and then as he started to buy more, then I started wearing his too.
When SBs were initially cool. And then
all the Jordans were mine for sure.
Yo, when your brother first moved out here to Vegas, and we lived together, he was already copping sneakers like every day. It felt like he had a new box.
Yeah.
And now it's like he has new boxes.
Yeah, he has
boxes inside of the box.
Yeah, he got the bit like a crate.
He got crates.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
What was your first impression of Jay? Because we've known Jay forever, so it's hard to like get a feel for like how Jay is to like other people.
For sure.
But what was your first impression?
No,
of Jay?
I thought he was really cool. Like that was like number one. Like, dang, this dude's super cool. And one cool reason was simply because of he was just quiet but dressed really awesome. And I think he just had different energy, even in regards to like moving from Japan. Was that? Oh no! And so like all Filipinos would, we all became friends.
Yeah.
He was in one of my math classes, I think, too. And so super. Yeah, I mean, he was always smarter too than everybody else, because he was in a grade beneath me, right?
Yeah,
before me. And so but we were in the same math class, and then just really got really cool. And those days we would hang out in McDonald's parking lots for hours.
Yeah.
Other people's houses.
I don't know if you remember this, but like when I first started going to school, it was like all the Filipinos hanging out together, right? So I would see you like come in and out of the circles. And then one time when I really I don't know, it's weird to say, but like really was aware of you. And I don't know if we exactly met at the time, but was at the Grape 5 camp out.
Grape 5 camp out, bro.
So like this is at a time where people are camping out for shoes still. And at the Caesar's Palace, they had the Forum shops, and I just pulled up because I was like, I'm trying to get these. That's our school colors.
Oh, it was your school colors.
And then out of nowhere, I was like, oh shit, Omar's here.
My fellow brown guy.
Yeah, fellow brown boys here.
Brown boys unite.
And he, I think at the time you had the very like Kanye pink polo style, like Argyle sweater. And
Damn, I
was
remember that, Omar.
Like, this guy's killing it because everyone else here is like, I don't know, dressing like
Everyone was
different
afraid to
outfits.
do it. I was just like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, he went head. Or
Some guy actually
dove
wanted
in.
to fight me because I was wearing a pink polo in middle school.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
He wanted to fight you.
Yeah.
Oh, so you had on the Kanye "Take My Film" fit and
Yes.
run away from the MTV crew.
What is
Yeah,
that?
exactly.
The
When he
Jesus
took his
Walks
mask,
punk.
yeah, the Jesus Walks.
Oh
punk,
yeah.
Took his
Started
mask
pouting.
off.
Yeah.
Sick reference.
So that's how you. That's.
I mean, we
sort of
bonded
where-
over the love for sneakers for sure,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
culture. I guess you could also say
The culture at large.
the culture at large. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy to think that was over. I mean, that was 2006.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It was 2006.
Wow, bro, we're about to know each other for 20 years, dude.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy. That's dope though, man. To
Yeah.
have a friendship that lasts that long, you know.
Yeah, it's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, because how many friendships do you have that have been active for that long?
A very small number.
Yeah, like on one hand, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe a little bit over 1.5 hands for
Gotcha.
sure.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
My best friend, his name's EJ. We've been homies since 5th grade,
Oh wow.
and we're still like this.
Yeah.
He's my daughter's godfather, and it's pretty cool.
Shout out to
Special.
EJ, man.
Yeah. Shout out EJ.
Yeah, good dude right there.
That's beautiful. Fucking since 5th grade.
Yeah.
Damn. Bro.
And then we got Marion. I think it had to have been around 2008, maybe 2007.
Yeah, it was pretty.
But it was
Pretty
like
early, too.
I had a friend who was rapping at the time.
Shouts to Neek.
Shout outs to Flow Deep.
Classic.
Are you
right
aware
there.
today's 10/13?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Dom.
we did that on
Say
purpose.
happy birthday to this fool. I was texting the last night too. Hold on.
Dang, dude, that's crazy. Yeah. No, but like, yeah, just crazy. What I remember of Marion was just how gifted he was. Dude,
Wow.
he like the dude.
Man.
I'm just out here to just gas you guys both. I'm gonna gas y'all
what
up.
a compliment.
Just such
You
an
gonna get
encouragement.
yours in a little bit. Omar. Don't worry, bro.
No, but definitely like he knew graphic design. He knew audio engineering. He can rap himself. He, like record music. Like I was just also video editing too. Like my dude was like making videos. Like when I think about somebody who just like crushed, bro, he was an original crusher, bro.
OC King, bro. Yeah. No, that's crazy
Dude,
because
event planner,
all of it.
A concert thrower.
well, the crazy thing is before I met Neek, it was just me and Goose.
Yep.
So like Goose's skills when it came to that creative stuff was very limited. And so I was going to UNLV at the time. Kind of. I just went to the campus, but I didn't go to my classes. So I taught myself everything pretty much. I'm pretty sure that's how you did everything,
Yeah.
self-taught.
YouTube
And so
University.
you caught me at a time where I was just trying to do everything. So when I met you through Neek, and I was like, me and Neek were like, yo, let's fucking work together. Let's build like a team. And then he told me about you, and then you had your what's that vlog? I Want a Straw Hat.
Yeah,
oh,
you
I
got
remember
it.
that. Yeah.
That's when I was like, oh shit, this is vlog. I didn't even know what that was, right? So I was like, oh shit, this is cool. And you were, I know you say like you're this is you now, but like you been doing this media stuff for a minute too.
For sure. No, yeah, I a lot of people think I'm very gifted, and I just think I didn't quit.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, I
exactly.
hope I'd be this good. I hope I'd be able to speak into this, industry or wherever, whatever this is, 20 some odd years later. But no, I think just, I'm grateful. It's like the world is like moving in the direction, and I'm just grateful I picked up a camera when I did.
That's
Yeah.
good because I do remember like at one point, I remember vaguely there was a conversation where you were kind of like, I don't know what to do. Like where, like I think you probably just felt like you were like stagnant at one point, and then it just you just kept at it, I guess, and then it grew into this version of Omar, which is crazy how
Yeah.
clear you are on my Instagram. You're the clearest dude. You're the clearest
Facts.
dude on my Instagram.
No, for real.
The
Yo, I
clearest.
swear to God, if you don't follow Omar or Think Media, and you're like, you must follow him so you could really see. Because it's like when you wipe your eyes, like in the morning, it's like after wiping your eyes, everything is clear, and that's what it feels like on Instagram.
Yo,
Dude, that's like such a cool compliment, dude.
no, it's crazy because like
Clearest guy on my
I swear to God, bro, like it makes me stop and why. Like I know you, so like I'm always interested in what you got to say, right? No matter what it is, I'm always interested. But now that you're super clear, it's like I actually enjoy it even more now because you're like in 5K. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
Like, damn, I didn't know we had these many pixels on the phone.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like my dude's bringing like I feel like I got a 55-inch screen on my fucking phone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
facts. No, I feel that because you are the clearest guy on my fucking timeline.
The clearest, bro.
Yeah, dropping gems like crazy. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
free
thing I
game.
wanted to mention that we didn't mention is Omar is also a hooper.
Oh,
Mm.
very
We
true.
didn't introduce that part. So Omar can hoop. And
I'm
I-
trying to get it back, but
Yeah, were you hooping this morning?
I do. I have a small group, and that's just a fancy word for a group of fellas that all go to the same church, and we meet at 6:30 a.m. on Thursdays at the. This might be too much information at the basketball court, and dude, we get it in for about an hour and a half, and then that's it. Yeah. So, but it's crazy. Like I just, you think you could do something now, and you're like, dang, I used to be able to do that.
Yeah, I tried to explain that on this pod many times, but it's like you feel like your body can do what your mind remembers it doing,
Right.
and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing.
that feels frustrating.
Yeah.
You're like,
It's not my body anymore.
I've been feeling like that for about the last 15 years, bro.
how long has this been going on?
What?
The weekly hoops.
It's just like maybe 3 weeks now. We'll only do it for another 4, and then it's like we take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do like semester things. I'm also a pastor. That's probably something that you guys could have like introduced, but
Oh yeah.
but
Sorry about that.
not random. I mean,
Yeah.
but cool. It's
Yeah.
cool. Like I would say, what got me locked in on video was that I found an awesome church, and I got radically saved. And I just started serving the church, and it was a very, relevant church. They were doing like videos and creative promos and stuff. And I just started serving. And over time it turned into a full-time job. I got to be the creative director for about 3.5, 4 years. And I got to refine my skills, become really good at, leadership and all this stuff. And then at the same time, still dabbling with vlogging and editing. And, but over the course of that era, I think it allowed me to get into the place of actual education and teaching this stuff. But
Yeah.
That was a dope post you had on your Instagram where you were preaching and you were talking about how like you didn't really know like your direction, and then the whole camera that you had picked up the cameras and just went.
yeah, I mean, it was it's a clip that where I talk about Moses, this famous biblical character. He had a staff in his hand, and the Bible says God told him, just use the thing that's in your hand, use the staff. And that's what he did to part the Red Sea. And then the Red Sea parted. And in the same way, a lot of the times people think when they come to the Lord, they actually have to put down everything to come to him. And in some sense, 100, you need to trust him. But at the same time, God is awesome. And he's probably put something in your hand, something that you like what you like, probably because of the way he created you, and so don't drop the good thing when you come to God. Maybe that's the thing he wants to use to reach more people. And I've been able to see that in a powerful way for sure.
Yeah.
You know what else Moses did? He parted my gap in my tooth after that shit closed. Shit just fucking parted it again, man.
Yeah, we were talking about our teeth. Marion said my teeth look really good, and I'm grateful for that. I never had braces, and
That's fire, yeah.
I was growing up, and I had a gap in between the top 2 teeth. But my mom's dentist, because she was kind of concerned, she's like, should he get braces? He's like, I think there's a 70% chance that it's going to close when he grows older. I was
That's
like,
crazy.
all right, well, let's bet on that.
You got a
That's a high
fire
number.
dentist, bro. Your dentist just looks at you says 70%. Your mouth straightens out.
It's a
bro.
good guess.
That's fire, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Damn,
dope, man.
that's dope. Yo, can we talk about you finding the church and becoming a pastor in your journey? Are you open about that?
Yeah, 100.
Yeah. So how did it all start?
Yeah, I mean, I was raised Catholic for 19 years and did the whole thing. Got baptized as an infant, confirmed, communion, the whole 9. And it wasn't until my brother and my sister started attending this life-giving church. And by life-giving church, I mean like a church that preached the Bible. A lot of young people were there for the first time ever. I would go to church and I'm like, dude, there's a lot of people my age. Because I would say in the Catholic church, there was a gap. There was like, you had very young people who were dragged to church, and then you had older people. And then like that young adult flow was kind of absent. And so this is new to me, but also it was very engaging the way the message, the sermon was being preached. And yeah, so it was December 2011. I got saved. I mean, I realized that my entire life I thought I had a relationship with God, and I didn't. It was just religion, and you learn that like Jesus hated religion. And I'm like, dude, the very thing that I like got locked into is the thing that Jesus hates. Just checking off the box, going through the motions. That's not a relationship. And so I learned that like by the grace of God, Jesus, you know, went forth. He put his life down and he lived a sinless, perfect life and rose again just to prove it, just to prove that he is God. And if you put your faith in him, you get, the Bible says in Ephesians 2:8 that for by grace you've been saved through faith. So if I just believe in the finished work of Jesus, I can have right relationship with God. And now the beautiful thing is God no longer sees my good works or my bad works or my good deeds and my bad deeds. He sees Jesus, not Omar. And now because of that, I have right relationship with God. And so the beautiful thing is I just got, surrounded with just awesome people at my church. And for the first time, I guess you could say like had friends that, you know, we weren't doing anything, but we were doing things that just like made us better. And we were hanging out and having healthy conversations, and also met my wife during that time. And the journey though, there was a moment in 2014 or 2015 where one of the guys that was on staff at the church I was at, his name's Daniel Fernandez. He took me for 6 Mondays in a row. He was like, meet me at this Starbucks at 6 a.m. and I'm going to teach you how to interpret scripture. And you'll never look at the Bible the same way. And so, yeah, I just locked in, and that, I would say that, you know, season of discipleship changed my life, because now I started seeing scripture differently in the way I believe God designed us to see it. We're never supposed to like see a scripture and make it what we think it means. It's like, no, this was written on purpose for a purpose. And so learning the correct, reason why a scripture is what it is. And it was just, I started to get passionate about it. And my love for people started growing. And I think that was just a work God was doing in me. And so I just loved people. Like, like me and my wife would have these small groups. It was a young adult group, and it grew to like 40 people in our small little house. And it just showed me that people were hungry for community. And so I just kept it locked in. And over the course of some time, I actually ended up quitting my job to pursue like freelance creative work, do weddings and family photo shoots and stuff. And then my an old friend reached out and said, hey, we're planting a church. We're starting a brand new church here in Las Vegas. Would you and your wife like consider being a part of that? And we were like, let's do it. And so that's the church we're at right now. Is called City Light Vegas. We're in the southwest part of town here in Vegas, and it's been cool to see. We see over 1,000 people on a Sunday now. Wow. And me and my wife oversee the small groups ministry. I'll preach a couple of times, but the ordination, like when Omar became a pastor, was 2021. Who says it like that? This guy. What a boomer.
2021.
Sounds like a Jay song. Okay. No. So no. So yeah, my pastor was like, bro, I want to confirm the call of God that's on your life. We want to ordain you. And I was like, dude, I'm scared.
Yeah. Yo, facts. I feel that.
And so, just his thing was like, you've already been walking in this, like, this is just evident on your life. And so we just want to come and confirm it. So yeah, there was like a night where they laid hands on me and prayed over me and commissioned me and ordained me. And so yeah, your boy's Pastor Omar now.
Hell yeah.
Yo, congrats, man.
Yeah.
So
Congrats.
you don't have to like, obviously, like you said, you grew up Catholic, and like I feel like priests, they got to go to college and do all that.
No, 100.
Like, you don't have to do that.
So I think the difference is in kind of like the circle you're in. Different organizations and denominations would require different things. In our case, we're a non-denominational church, and we're governed by a board of directors, and there's things like that. And so essentially they get to, you could decide it kind of how you want it. The same goes where if you want to be an ordained minister without even being a part of a church or going to college, you can do that and start marrying people on the strip,
oh shit.
Yeah, okay. It kind of goes either way you want to go, but yeah, it's the flow, and it's been cool. So in that time, I'm just like also making videos, and me and Sean's the CEO of Think Media, and he started Think Media all by himself. And then 2016, I saw him in the gym. We lived like 4 minutes away from each other, and he was just grinding, trying to get his channel off the ground. And at the time, he was at about 17,000 subscribers, but went full time at 17,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Without choice. He got a lot of his contract clients got dropped, so he was all in, and he saw that the power of like affiliate marketing. He made a couple dollars from Amazon selling cameras, and he was like, dude, if this could be something special. And so that's when I kind of came on and started just shooting and editing, and then it progressed, and he was like, bro, I need you to teach. I want you to get in front of the camera. And so it's been a cool thing to look back on, and 2.2 million subscribers later.
Wow, that's only 6 years ago.
It's only 6 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know you knew this much about
Stuff.
what do we call this? Media, digital media.
Yeah.
Like I watch your obviously we follow on Instagram. Like I said, you're the clearest dude I see. So I'm always watching. But like, did you just like learn this on the fly, or were you already?
Yeah,
I already understood.
I think so much of it, of course, was self-taught. I never got formal education. A lot of things on YouTube, but I think I just put myself in enough scenarios to get enough reps, and volume at some point produces something. And so, I think I've been through enough situations and circumstances to realize what someone would need, and then also just being a part of the evolution of seeing the YouTube channel grow, and then helping a ton of people grow YouTube channels. And so I think just the culmination of the experience on a volume standpoint has allowed me to learn a lot, know a lot. And when you actually become an educator, like when you put yourself in the shoes of an educator, you actually become a student.
Yeah.
And then now I'm at the forefront. And actually, if I put out bad information, because I'm an educator, I get the first, feedback to know that hey, that was the wrong thing. Cool.
Yeah.
Now I know,
Yeah.
So I think it's a culmination of a lot of things, but definitely always learning. And it is crazy. It's crazy to think that there was one point where I would, look after this new camera and want this new camera, and now these companies are paying us a lot of money to sell their cameras. Like, it's just kind of a crazy reality that we get to live in right now.
Yeah. And going off of like student and volume, you were the broadcasting guy at school.
Yeah.
He was always on TV, like the newscaster.
Yeah, so my sophomore year, you get to choose your electives, and I chose broadcast journalism, and you kind of do the morning announcements once a week, and you get to make creative like commercials. That's kind of when I first started messing with video, and at the time you would have to capture the video directly into Premiere Pro, second for second,
damn.
and then when you rendered, you had to do it the other way. But I found that time would just pass like crazy when I would edit, and I'm like, dude, I really enjoy this, and so I went home and I illegally downloaded Sony Vegas, which was like a thing. I went to Target, bought a camera to like start vlogging with, and then the rest is history.
So
I was finding a lot of people that like get in their start in video during the time I did. They went one of two ways. They went the music video route, or they went the skateboard route.
Yeah, so there's only two options. Yeah.
And so I did the music video route.
Shot some videos.
So you shot some videos for Marion.
Oh, dude,
before.
we went ham.
We did.
Dude, vlogs, we did a tour.
Yeah, we so like when Nick would do shows in Cali, obviously I'd be like, yo, who we bring? It's Omar. So that's why I was like, Omar could shoot and edit, for Nick, because Nick had his own following, he had his own team already, and like I think the only thing he was missing was like the mix and connecting him with producers and stuff. So that's when I came into play, and man, I feel like we almost had it with that dude.
Yeah,
almost had it. He's still going. He's still doing his thing.
Yeah, no,
but,
I think about that a lot. I think everyone knew, how awesome he was, the looks he had going for him. When I do think about, when I trace back, and if he hears this, I know he'll hear it in love. You don't have to be talented to make it. I think we can agree. Like, there are some whack rappers that make it.
Yeah.
I think it's their ability to think that they are good enough or stupid enough to think that they can actually do this thing.
Yeah.
It's like irrational confidence.
Irrational confidence, and it's the confidence that, like, in a room, they're like, you're special.
Yeah.
It's like, but you don't have to rap for me. You're just special because you're just confident. But yeah, so when I trace back to moments where, potential, like a show that could have happened, I do think, I don't know if like in his knowers of nowhere, did he really think that he could probably do this thing,
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, he had the squad behind him. I was making free videos like it was no one.
Yeah, it's crazy to have
Omar
him
was
back
doing
then,
mad
like
work,
doing
bro.
full-time work for free.
Yeah, he was
I
doing
mean-
all that. Like, shit, I didn't have a check. I wasn't getting no checks. Like,
Yeah.
Nick wasn't getting no checks. None of us was. Like, we were just I guess not going through the motions, but we were going through the experience.
Yeah, no,
learning,
yeah, and and I see so many, and when it comes to creatives, I have found that like creatives that lack the business sense dude, they get taken advantage of, and they also miss out on a lot. And then you have people who have a very strong business sense but lack of creative. The business sense people typically are able to do the thing quicker just because they're able to monetize in whatever shape or capacity. So you guys had a thought process between, we need to make music because we need to get on these blogs. Right. And once we get on these blogs in particular, Two Dope Boys, Go Wear Hip Hop, whatever, then life will change. Because that's where like the Wiz Khalifa, the Kid Cudi, like
the Mac Millers, J. Cole, all popped off.
It was all on the blog era. So that was your train of thought. And I think what's crazy to think, when I think about there was 100% an audience you guys built in, and it could have been a small audience, but you guys had diehard fans. Yeah, they would show up to shows. I would ask, what did you have for those people? You know, like, and that's me looking back, hindsight 2020 always, right? Yeah, 100%. Like having a community, like now you guys are able to let diehard fans be a part of this and go deeper with them. And I think that's something that people are now catching on, you know. And
we were definitely missing that. Like there was a disconnect between, I think, our group and the fans. You know? Like we just supplied them with music and entertainment. Yeah. But we could have probably did way more. But like you said, looking
hindsight
back,
2020. Yeah.
But it's dope, man. Like
hindsight
cool.
2021.
100. But it's cool. I mean, it just is a cool, like, dude, experiences are awesome, and you know, just cool to look back and think about all that and how it plays a role today. Like,
100%, man.
Like 100%. You're still speaking into a microphone. You still sound like you can rap.
We were doing mic tests earlier, and he sounded like he was about to spit a verse.
And I'm always late still. You know what I'm saying? Like,
rapper
so
time.
When you were making videos for Neek and Marion, what was your goal at the time? Like, what did you want to do with your life?
That's a cool question. I think I just enjoyed making videos so much that when we would make a music video or like a recap video, it would put me in a position to learn again something new. So, you know, I would consume, you know, certain kinds of music videos and see how they're using imagery or text or this, that, and the other, and it would be a seed to potentially try something like that on the next video shoot. And so I specifically remember, you know, getting borrowing a camera and going to this like deserted apartment complex to shoot this video for Dom, Neek, and it was like an 88, you know, remix or freestyle thing. And I was like, I love the look of a super wide lens and you're like shaking it on a camera. So like it gave me the ability to like test things, I think, you know? And so I think that's what it was. It was just like, I guess you could say it was a hunger to just constantly learn, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Were you actively seeking other work, or were you just 100% focused on Neek?
No, at the time I wasn't. So I don't know if I've ever, quote unquote, ever actually sought out work, because I always saw opportunities to just do it, you know, and then it got to a point where I was able to do it for, you know, weddings, you know, do weddings and things like that and small business promos. And, but no, I mean, dude, it's funny. Like I haven't really gave it that much thought.
But I think starting from a place of curiosity and hunger 100. Is what made you do it more. Because if you were starting from a place of looking for money, there's obviously no money that Dom or anybody could give you at the time.
Right.
So I think having that, starting from that place versus the other, it just made you work 10 times harder than the person that was looking for the dollar.
100. And I would say it's kind of hard now, because now people see what they can do with the creative, and it's like they you know, maybe they don't want to put in that free work, but it's like, dude, it's good, you know, just do it, you know, even if who you're doing for could actually pay you, but that's something I'm even journeying through, is like, how do you teach hunger, you know, like, because like there are a lot of young people that could learn this awesome skill, and I actually think there's a new breed of creator, and it's not a videographer or a filmmaker. The new breed of a creator is called a shredder. It's someone who can follow somebody around, like an entrepreneur. You know, you guys follow Gary Vee and stuff. Like this guy named D-Rock is his shredder. It's a guy who follows him around and is just like quick on their feet, and then they're quick to turn around the content. They don't relish in the artistry of what's going on, but they're quick, and they need to smack a photo, they'll smack a photo. If they're ready to get video, they're ready to, the mic's on, the batteries are charged, you're ready to go. It's called a shredder. And I think this is it's a new wave of creative that I think the world will pay high money for.
Yeah.
It's like a volume thing.
It's so valuable to have somebody like that, because that's technically what you were doing,
right?
Back in the days for Neek.
100.
It's like nowadays, like for Gary Vee, is it a one-person job?
Well, now he's got a team, and that D-Rock guy now oversees that team. But I do have like a friend who used to work with him, and currently now works for Alex Hermosi. If you don't know who he is, just like a entrepreneur online. But there's just a lot of opportunity there. But yes, it's the volume play. You know? And I did it for Sean too. I mean, there was a time where we would travel, and he wrote a book in 2017 or 18, YouTube Secrets, and I would just travel with him. And when somebody would come up to him and ask him a question, I had like my headphones in my ear and it's connected wirelessly to his mic on his shirt, and I'm just like, boom, this is the moment. I can capture this, and he's, you know, and then repurpose. And
it's crazy to see the evolution, because like to see you doing all this shit for Neek, it's like it literally transformed and it turned into something that you could have never foreseen like back then.
100.
Right. You know, that's crazy, bro. It's still, it's literally the same thing. It's like, it's the same job. It's the same task. It's the same passion.
Yeah.
And it's just evolved into something that's like now your full-time thing.
Right. Which I think is what makes me feel secure about what I'm doing, because there's depth.
Yeah.
Like I think I was self-aware enough to know back then that I enjoyed what I was doing.
Yeah.
So if something robbed me from being able to do more of that, I would deem that maybe not quite the smartest, you know, path. Right.
Yeah.
So I think there was just a little bit of a self-awareness there, because I think some people know what they enjoy doing and they know they do something that passes time, but because of life or because of a lack of self-awareness, they'll trade it for something smaller in the short term and miss out on something that, you know, 10 years later, who knows, like if you got really good at this thing for 10 years, dude, you'll never have to worry about money, you know?
Yeah. And that's exactly what you did, man. I feel like you honed in on that skill and just like turned it up.
Yeah,
a lot.
It's very inspiring. I mean, because I remember watching all of those old videos. I know I keep referencing them, but like that's kind of how I started to get to know you, is the guy behind the camera making all these like funny videos to get to see my cousin on tour in like Cali and like.
Dude, that's what's funny about, like, I guess you could say our relationship. You know, it's just like it was like, dude, Jay, your cousin be like famous on YouTube, like doing all the right things. Like, you know, it was like it was cool to even see what you were doing on YouTube and how you were using it in the way we highly help people, educate people, and lead them into, and that is through education. Yeah, you know, like. YouTube is consumed in two different ways. It's whether it's either entertainment value or educational value. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think everyone here could say that, like, I've gone on YouTube and I've searched how to do something.
How to
X,
you know,
how to
watch this J. Cole beat I made for J. Cole's newest album. Yeah. No, but you teaching Ableton and all that stuff, and it's what brought your following. Yeah. But then over time, you're able to evolve and start, you know, seeding in certain things, your interests and other things that surround producing. And it's powerful. Building an audience is crazy. I've heard this, that like the greatest, the skill that's gonna be the new form of oil. Like at one time it was like buying land and having oil, and that would made billionaires. That the newest skill is gonna be people who can hold attention. Yeah. Who can build audiences and hold attention. And if you can do that, you wouldn't have to worry about finances.
I agree.
That's so crazy, man. How like digital media just became like a gold mine nowadays. Yeah, because everything needs it. You know, like just with me finishing school in the sports world, they need, like, there's so many like, obviously marketing is a big thing in any business, right? But they put so much effort in digital media and not just print media or billboards. Or TV rights. A lot of it is digital media because of the fact that essentially it's almost like a free platform, right? Right. With your Twitters and YouTubes, it's like a free platform, but like they're hiring so many people, and these people are getting paid to just document teams, sports teams, athletes, and show people and get their attention, build a fan base, and then, you know, essentially that's where they're going to get their money from and sell their products.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're moving into a place where long are the days where you have to throw down $500,000 for a commercial. Right. It's like, use that $500,000, hire 6 people, and let them run content, you know, for the company or the business or the brand or whatever. And that's just where we're going. Because if you're putting all that effort into one video, not everyone's going to see that video. You know, and so crazy times we live in, for sure. Yeah.
Out of all the things that you do, what do you think is like your favorite thing to do?
Out of all the things I do, what is my favorite thing dude, I mean, I think it's 2 things. I think I love the local church. I love building the local church, but more than that, I love helping people and helping people discover why God's created them and allow them to see the path that they could start walking in, that God's, you know, wants them to walk in, and essentially know their calling and know that they're even called. But but that ties in heavily into what I do in the video sense, because I'm helping people realize that you have something to offer and that you can just turn on a smartphone and start sharing things in the world. So I know I genuinely enjoy now being in front of the camera and teaching and educating. But I think I also feel like, a lot of times I don't realize if the influence that has actually come. Like, I mean, just because you're in your own world, kind of just making YouTube videos.
Right.
And, I still got some dreams and aspirations to still go about and do. But I thoroughly enjoy making videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope.
What are some of those dreams? Like what else? Because right now I see like you're really, really killing it right now, right? So what else do you want to do? What else is Omar wants to do with his life?
Dude, I think about this a lot, and the simple answer is I don't 100% know.
Right.
There are little things that I would like to capitalize on. Like, I do believe that video podcasting is still in its inception phase.
Mm-hmm. Very early.
Very early. Like, I believe that companies that do want to produce more content, a potential missing key element might just be start a podcast. Like, because it leverages time very well, because you sit down once and you record, however long you want to go, and, section off the process. And then you have so many clips to post other things on social media after the fact. And so you're able to do so many mediums and, and distribute everything in one sitting. So I'd love to do because I know and I feel in my gut that this is still the future. I want a big part in that. I would love a studio in Las Vegas. I'm working on one in Dallas, and would love a studio where it's a done for you service. I'd also like to be the leading educator, which I think if you type in video podcast setup and kind of show up everywhere.
Yeah.
That keyword is kind of because I did it for a company in 2018, and I took their business from $0 a month in sales to $250,000 in sales in 8 months.
Wow.
All organic through a podcast. It's crazy. And so the power is there to be able to connect it to a business, but I would love make a course on that. And then that idea with the Shredditor and the D-Rock and how that's a new breed of creative.
Yeah.
I think that's my $10 million idea is either a school or a mastermind or something where we create those people and they get, if somebody reaches out and says, hey, if you'd like to, hire somebody, you brokerage their salary, maybe 10% as long as they're on or whatever. But then there's also the idea of there's a lot of entrepreneurs that know they should be doing video, but they got the money to pay for a person to do it. But if both of them went through a 6-month, mastermind or something, and that by the end of that, they'd be ready to run and do stuff. It'd be, something like that, but that would be very high ticket.
Do you have any interest in being a Shredditor for somebody?
Oh no, I feel like I did my I did my reps for that.
You did his shredding.
Yeah, I did my shredding.
Shredditor University, bro, right here.
Yeah.
Now you need a Shredditor.
Right.
Ooh.
Which I have sent away 3.
Dang.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Because, dude, I feel like my life is it's an open-handed life. I'm not, if I can help you get to the next stage, and if that slows me down a little bit, that's okay. You know. So
I see what you're saying. You actually sent them on to
I've had a few
you.
people that were that for me,
Yeah.
and that they now work for somebody else full time.
Oh, I see.
I thought you
Okay.
hacked them you ain't good enough.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
them away.
yeah, you guys aren't good enough. Let me do this myself.
They graduated.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be a lot of pressure to be the Shredditor for you because you are the crispiest guy on Instagram. So they'd be
man.
I got to keep up. But if they graduated from there, then they learn from the best.
Omar's bar is high. It's high.
The crazy thing though is that the reason why I feel like it could be such a financially lucrative thing is that colleges aren't teaching this form of marketing.
No, they're not.
Modern
They're
marketing is not being taught in Ivy League schools and stuff, but people are paying so much money to learn marketing, and it's you're learning old tactics. It's crazy. I actually think in marketing should be more psychology than it is marketing itself.
Yeah.
Learning how people think and why people convert and all that stuff. But no, what's crazy is, dude, the UNLV film director emailed me. And he was like, dude, we love your stuff on Think Media. We noticed that you have a UNLV flag in the back of your shot.
Sick.
If you'd like to come and help us set up a podcast studio, we want to start a podcast, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, that's a cool little full circle moment.
Yeah,
that's dope.
But yeah, I mean, I also didn't do it. Just cool email. Just a cool email.
You just got it for a flex. Like print it out, frame it. Like
No reply.
I told y'all.
Put it next to the flag.
Next to the flag.
That's fire, bro. That's fire.
No, because I was taking marketing classes at UNLV when I was going there at the same time. Didn't graduate.
Which shout out to Jay. He helped me in Japanese. Literally.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I will pay for those sins one day. No, I'm just kidding. Like literally during a test, swap papers like just quick.
Oh, wow.
I just did not understand it. And he spoke it fluently. And
I forgot about
You could have
that.
charged him for that, bro.
I
You
know.
missed
No,
out.
well, for Christmas he got me like something special, so I was like,
Oh,
"Oh, this,
okay.
this
It
was
worked. It
way
paid off.
worth it." Yeah,
Oh, y'all had a Japanese class together?
yeah.
Yeah.
What did you have to fulfill? Just like an elective?
yeah, it had to be one language. And I was like, it'd be
language.
so cool to learn Japanese. And then you're like, what the heck, dude?
Dude, I
Yeah.
feel like you had it in like the first month or two, and then like it did ramp up fast, and then
Yeah.
that's probably when we had to stop swapping
Yeah.
or start swapping papers.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all were swapping.
legit tests.
Yeah.
Like legit.
That's next level.
Next
cheating.
level.
Like that's not even like looking over the shoulder. That's
Because you can't just look over his shoulder and be like, look at it. And he had fluent writing. Like, you know, there's one thing of like you're learning these shapes and letters and stuff, but he's like fluent with it. He has like the pencil faded off. And, you know.
Yo, that's fire, man. I did not know they had a Japanese
I
class.
totally
Yeah.
forgot about that. I even forgot we had a class. It was probably geometry in high school.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah, totally forgot.
Damn, that's crazy because at universities you get caught cheating. That's it. You're out.
Yeah.
There's like no chances,
Is there?
second chances.
I didn't know. I didn't know that. And I was also doing Army ROTC. I probably would have got kicked. So funny.
hey man, he's here now. So
I
he's,
know,
I mean,
yeah, man,
unscathed.
yeah.
He's fine. It worked out for him.
Yeah.
So I know you said you wanted to. You're talking about being an educator. Do you have any interest in like making your own YouTube channel and kind of growing that? And excuse me if you already have one.
No, yeah. I mean, I do. I don't post on it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of search based stuff. So like, I have 30,000 subscribers without like really, because every day I guess people find it. But no, I think I'm slow to do that because I feel like when I'm ready to like go all in on my personal YouTube channel and then I would like to have it such a very clear vision on what that would look like. But it probably be along the lines of like a video podcast because I
okay.
think the time saver in it, and I think if you have the experience factor with the ability to deliver on a video podcast, I think it would be a valuable thing. And then the video podcasts hack time and all that stuff. So because I'm not the one who like. The Mr. Beast game, where it's like fast-paced editing and then trying to reset attention every 3 to 5 seconds it's a way. I just don't think it's not the only way.
Right.
And I've also learned that's a very masculine editing style. Girls don't necessarily like that. Like when Amanda's watching Mr. Beast with me, she's doing it because it's on the TV.
Right.
But she's like, dude, this is like too much.
just-
It's too stimulating.
Yeah, it's like all over the place. in a
But
way.
it's cool though. Like
Yeah.
it's definitely if that's a route, it works.
Yeah.
one of them.
You know what's dope that you posted? I can't remember when, but it like resonated with me is when you were talking about like churches, right? How instead of them, and I'm trying to do this verbatim, instead of them trying to get people in there and focus on just getting people to the church, because like for example, I don't go to church, right? So like that guy never really. When I got older, out of high school, I was never really a church dude. But like you said with the Catholic thing, like we got dragged to church, right? So I never liked it. But what you said what was dope was why don't they focus on like a YouTube channel and put their things on a church, or I'm sorry, on a channel, their I don't know what they call them, masses or whatever, and let the people find it or use it at the time that they want to listen to like a sermon or something. For
No,
people
for
who
sure.
don't even might not like to go to church but still want to hear something.
Right.
Like that shit was dope. When I heard that, and the first thing I thought of was like, oh, he's about to do that. That's gonna be the next move. And he's about to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's
No,
dope
I
if
mean,
you did it.
I definitely spend a lot of my time helping other churches, like whether it be like a off Zoom call or if I go to a conference, do like a breakout or something like that. I think what's tough about that is I am locked in at like what I do on Sundays. Like I love my church, and I feel like if I were to move into that season, it would be a season of me traveling on the weekends because I would watch people's processes and how the creatives are planning their Sundays. But yeah, I do think that the church generally speaking can do a better job at teaching people, like Monday through Saturday about the biggest questions in life. Like just be the resource, and then set it straight, like But yes, I think a lot of the effort is like, come to us. And actually Jesus's final words while he was alive, he says, all authority has been given to me. Now go out and make disciples. Like, go out and do it, you know? So I think there's a connection to how we market modern day in regards to do something like that.
Yeah. God said, make disciples. Let's use YouTube.
I think we're talking about the same post, but I remember hearing that and finding it really interesting that you said, don't turn your page into like a bulletin board for people. Turn it into a place where people can get value, you know? So
bars.
And I was like, wow, that's really, because most churches are like that. They're just
Bulletin
like, hey, this is
boards.
what we got
Just
going
flyers.
on. We got a Sunday picnic going on, like come through.
Yeah.
But like none of the posts are like, what sort of value can you get from this one post?
Right.
You know?
No, I think that's just, I mean, I'm learning that like the business world is leading in this, or like, you know, in the creative space of things, and the idea of like, just give the free value.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need anything in return, because over time, you know, you don't need to ask. I mean, you'll just sell shirts because people love what you're doing, you know, like, or whatever it is you want to do. If you show up valuable. So I know that I'm spending this, you know, I've been spending this year, 2022, 2022. I've been spending this year to just, you know, just go crazy on my Instagram and show up consistently with free value. I know I can snap my fingers in a year and a half from now and do whatever I want.
Yeah.
You know, and that just happens because people just build rapport. It's this feeling they already want me to have something. And it's kind of like that Gary Vee effect. He talks about the jab, 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 right hook. So Gary Vee, before he even sells a book, he announces it and it's New York Times bestseller because he has nothing to sell. In the meantime, he's just giving away free value. So that psychology thinking is very smart.
Yeah, we went to look on your Instagram the other day to look for like maybe a post to share, and it was all reels. We haven't seen a photo or carousel in like
Years.
a long scroll.
Yeah, I had an unlock moment where, you know, the people in my world that are really killing it on Instagram, it's a business.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
Yeah,
like
100%.
So if it's a business, I care less about what people think.
Yep.
If it's a business, I'm not trying to get too tied to it. Like, it's just, you know. So I mean, my family will sometimes be like, "Hey, you didn't even like post about my like thing." I'm like, "Dude, it's business."
Yeah, this is business
No,
only.
but in all honesty, I'm treating it less and less personal. You know.
Yeah.
And that's just that's even a process over time, because I'm like, we're all about Instagram. You know, but I've learned that like the people that are killing it, it's business first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm trying to learn how to make it a business thing first, but I don't know necessarily how to do it, I guess. So it's like now my personal is everyone's business. That's how it's looking. That's
a bar too.
That's how it's looking.
I'm gonna use that in the future.
I gotta figure out how to monetize my personal, because right now that's the business, bro.
No, I mean, it's honestly that is the hack. It's like when somebody can think of your brand, personal brand, you know, and people don't need to realize that we all are given a personal brand.
Yeah.
To, you know, and how you go about promoting yourself or showing yourself, because we all choose how we want to present ourselves online in some way, shape, or form, that like over time, like you get to influence something. So here's a crazy story. Like, you guys know the owner of Tesla. What's his name?
Elon Musk.
Okay,
Elon.
you guys know the founder of Amazon. What's his name?
Yeah.
Jeffrey.
Jeff.
Okay. Do you guys know the multi-billionaire person who started Panda Express?
No.
Damn.
So this guy has built a multi-billion-dollar empire, and the only thing he lacks, he can't sell a book
Oof.
because he doesn't have a personal brand.
Yeah.
But he's done something significant, but nobody knows who he is. And that's why we see a lot of these CEOs have intentional personal brands where they're sharing their opinions on the culture. It's like, it's wild, but like personal branding is very important, and you get to decide what people think about when they think about you. And so I love it when you guys say that, like, I'm the clearest dude. Well, like, that's dope because I'm the video guy, you know? So it's cool to know that, like, once you have it dialed based off of who you're trying to serve, I think that's where it starts with, like, who do I want to help? And who do I have the capacity to help? Like, you know, you can also fake it and people will know over time. But if you have something to offer and you can build educational resources or what have you underneath that all, dude, you can go ham. I did a coach call a couple days ago, this dude had a fitness Instagram and he barely posts. I was like very impressed when he told me he's doing over 100K on his Instagram.
Yeah.
Barely posting, but it's, you know, it's his personal brand. But like when he goes to the gym, he just shows, and then people go in the link in the bio, and then boom, boom.
Damn, that's fire.
Well,
that's what I
that
need.
kind of makes me think of something you said earlier when you were kind of explaining when the time is you're going to go like with your own personal YouTube page. My fault. With your own page.
Not the 14-inch.
And you were kind of saying like you were going to do it when you have some like a clear, I don't know, vision in mind of what you wanted to do. But what's like that balance of like someone who's trying to start and they kind of don't know, but it's still good for them to at least start something.
100.
Like they should already start recording anything, even though they don't know exactly what they want to do yet.
Yes. So I tell a lot of people who are stuck in the analysis paralysis phase of creating content to just start creating.
Yeah.
And the reason is because there's so many implied tasks. Like you don't realize it. Like you think that you're just going to shoot a video and upload it, but it's like, no, you actually have to like come up with what you're even going to talk about essentially at some point.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to edit that at some point and then decide on a thumbnail, come up with the title, like do all these things. And it's just a video, but there's so many things. And so I think the value in just starting is simply learning those implied tasks to creating content.
Yeah. Like getting reps in like all the things that come into what is simply sounding upload a video, but it comes with all that.
I know. That's which is like a funny dynamic. Every Think Media video says you got to just press record.
Yeah.
And then we're always like on podcasts like, no, you got to press record. You got to upload. There's just so much to do.
But it starts with pressing record
does,
so that
yeah.
you can start learning everything else that comes with it. So
Yeah. Always be recording, man.
Yeah.
Facts, man. Just got my shirt. And
Let's go.
we that's it, right? No, it's not on there no more, right?
Nah, no more with the shirt.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
yeah, always be recording, man. Yeah, that's where people, because I get a lot of DMs of people asking like, how do I even like? There's so many things that I want to do. That I have all these ideas, but it's really the number one advice I give is just to, bro, you just need to start.
Yeah.
And everything, you'll figure everything along the way, and then once you get to the place in your content life or whatever it is that you're trying to make, you'll know exactly what it is that you enjoy doing, what you don't enjoy doing, and you'll know how to upload, you'll know the thumbnail, you know what to talk about, what you don't like to talk about.
Right.
It'll come
Yes.
through the process.
Yeah, which is like, it's a funny dynamic because like you're looking at people who've done it,
Yeah.
but they did it like, and they did it for themselves and they had their own journey. And it's like, you just need to have your own journey, you know, just like go at it, bro. You know, like, because it looks different for everyone. And I get it. Like people who educate, even like Think Media, we at some because you're thinking, because we're teaching you, it has to look like a certain way.
Yeah.
But dude, there is a journey for you. I mean, just in the form of creating a brand with video.
Yeah.
That's fire, bro.
How many hosts, quote unquote, are on Think Media?
Yeah, there's a total of 4, you know, right now. So Sean Cannell, who is the CEO of Think Media, and then we have Heather Torres, who she's the face of the podcast, and she'll sometimes show up on the main channel. And then we have myself and Nolan Molt.
Gotcha.
And yeah, between us 4, we're making content. Me and Nolan, our goals are like 2 videos a week. Come hell or high water, we're creating 2 videos a week, and it's been really cool. And then we got a couple editors, a producer, and we are thinking about the future though. And I think that what's so cool about what Sean saw was that it, you know, because a lot of YouTubers they're the face of their YouTube channel, and there is something powerful about creating a branded YouTube channel because number one, you can get other people in it. You know, it's kind of like a news show, kind of like. You know, we like to think of ourselves kind of like the content creators of Dave Ramsey, the Ramsey Network, and where there's just multiple players underneath this umbrella, like Wu-Tang Clan or something. But a lot of people just go and do their own thing, but you can't sell. That's the thing about a personal brand is you can't sell it.
Yeah.
But like Think Media could be sold because it's just an educational YouTube channel. And so it's kind of like a very forward-thinking move that Sean made, you know, to make it a branded thing.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, we're looking for like Gen Z creators. Like we would love like, you know, a Gen Z, you know, girl and boy that we can get on the channel that loves this stuff and could evolve over time.
Are you guys open about how Think Media makes money on the channel?
Heck yeah.
Yeah. What would you say? Because I remember you saying affiliate marketing was Sean's, like that was the bread and butter at the beginning.
Yeah.
Is that still at the top?
No. Think Media, and I would have to think hard about all 21, but there's about 21 income streams that Think Media has.
Yeah.
And probably the highest would definitely be our online courses. So that we have Video Ranking Academy, which we teach how to start a YouTube channel, but make videos that actually get ranked in search so you can get discovered and build a channel that way. We've had over 10,000 people go through that, which has been cool. And then I would say maybe around the next line down would be brand deals. And that was just a very recent thing. You know, Sean didn't think too much of it back in the day. And I think a lot of people didn't. They were just creating, and then they had another way of making money, like selling a course or doing affiliate marketing. And so, you know, last year we did 7 figures in brand deals alone. And we've also found that there's value in just showing up every day on our channel because it's a slot.
Yeah.
You know, so it gives us more opportunities to sell spots, and so that's been cool. And then I don't know, I mean between the like Google AdSense and Amazon, it's awesome to see those numbers, but in comparison to what we make on the other side of things, it's nothing.
Yeah, you can't even compare. That's insane.
But it's cool.
It is insane.
Yeah, like Google AdSense would probably be on average 30 to 40 grand a month.
Yeah.
And then same with AdSense.
Is that consistent? Like it's the consistent number?
For the most part, there's like, I mean, ebbs and flows, you know, during Christmas time, it goes crazy. Usually there's like a little lull right before the summer and stuff like that. But for the most part, that's like on average. And 2020, or no, but that was a gnarly year for us.
Yeah.
You know, the company was actually running at a negative 30% loss every month in the beginning of 2020.
Oh, what?
And Sean just felt it in his gut. He was like, I think we need to double down.
Yeah.
Like, so that was when he was like, I need you and Nolan to like produce 2 videos a week.
Yeah.
And like, we'll do this, and that. And then like, it's just crazy to kind of see the graph that like during 2020, how much people met us because we had search-based content that was like archived on our channel. And because everybody was at home trying to be like, I should probably learn how to make videos.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like a perfect time for y'all.
It's
actually.
the best
dude, it was
YouTube channel,
wild.
bro.
Yeah.
To be the channel that serves YouTubers
Yeah.
or content creators in general, it's like one of the best channels to have.
I appreciate that
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah.
I really do hope you open up Shredder University, bro, because like just in this interview we're doing with you, right? Like I feel like, and I've known you, right? But I feel like I've learned so much and things are linking in my brain. Ideas are popping up. If you were like my professor, right? And I was trying to become like a digital media specialist, I feel like being in your class for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, graduate's degree, whatever, I would be able to like turn that into a career off
sure.
top.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like you said earlier, they teach marketing now, and it's like the OG way, right? Like let's learn how we used to do it versus let's probably do something that's gonna break through. So that way you can break through into the game. But like, if you open that school or if you guys start educating people, I really do feel like you guys are going to start creating that person or whoever that Shredder guy that you talking about, you guys can create it. Because I just feel like I just learned so much. And I'm pretty sure the people listening to this, like, yo, you should be able to leave this episode and then at least make a video, upload that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
At
100.
least. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be motivated right now. But yeah, this is dope, man. Open that school, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, that's a great idea,
You know what
bro.
I'm
I
saying?
really think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's even if it was just online. I mean, I don't know if you were trying.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
make
I there's a lot of ways to tackle it,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to go think about the smartest way. You know, I don't want to like suck my life into something I then regret. You know,
Yeah.
but like the mastermind route makes me. I've been meeting a lot of people that have these high ticket masterminds, and it blows me away. Like I was in Atlanta last week, and some very awesome dude that I met drove up with a Lambo. He has a couple of them. 35-year-old dude. Super cool guy. Helped him with his YouTube setup. But like he was telling us like how he takes people in it through a challenge, and then he has a high ticket offer. His offer is $50,000. And my man he's like, yo, we bagged 7 at the end of the challenge. Like I was like, and I was like, and then what do you do? And then, you know, he has a 10-month fulfillment on that. And
Yeah.
there's a lot to it, but like I've learned that like if you want to, you know, help somebody, having not saying like having their wallet, but like when they heavily invest into something, you have them.
Yeah.
And I think if I can create an experience that, you know, maybe is like a 6-month thing, not in person, online, and then we have 2 in-person events or something, that like it can help a lot of people. But it's focused work, because when I think about like having a, you know, real estate and it like is a place, maybe you have dorms and stuff. It sounds crazy, and I know somebody's gonna do that eventually, like a Euphoria or something like that. It just gets very academia, and I think it's a gnarly thought, because at that point I wouldn't be teaching, like
Right. But I think you could definitely start like an online masterclass of just shredders or whatever, just this type of stuff. And I know you already kind of give free game on your Instagram and your guys' channel, but like you guys could potentially, and you, like you said, you want to help people. I feel like you guys could help just tap into, and like you said, this is an inception. This whole digital media stuff's an inception. Like,
you
100. Could be that big part of its progression, like you said you wanted to.
Yeah,
I feel like if you,
I mean, there's this 18-year-old kid that he was in he was a middle school, and he was in our small group. Me and my wife's group, and when he turned 18, I taught him a lot of what I know, and my friend in Texas was looking for a shredder, and I asked him, I was like, do you want to move to Texas? He's like, I will. And he's an 18-year-old making like $45K doing this stuff. Like, what a blast, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what's his name?
Art. Did
he hoop with us?
He may have.
Okay. I thought it was the other young kid that used to hoop with us.
No, I mean, this Arturo is just, that's what he's doing right now as a 19-year-old kid. And now he's getting reps into something that, dude, 20, 30-year-olds are like, teach me your ways, you know?
That's exactly.
Dope. It's such a valuable skill, man. It's hard to put a price on that, because it's like, if you could take a business from here to here,
right? And what's the
price of that?
No, and I've learned even about like my creativity is that my creativity isn't the value. The value is the industry I give my creativity to. So, if I'm a video guy to a real estate agent, they'll pay way more money if I'm a video guy to a small business mom and pop shop that like they don't know the upside. But like one contract from a video that I make for a real estate agent could be a $20,000 commission. And so I've learned that the industry pays the value for a person.
Yeah.
I think in music, it's like when you can create for commercials, and they're getting paid way more than making beats for rappers.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
that idea, the industry pays more than the value you actually bring,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's what they value it at.
Right.
How much they need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people need it right now.
It's
Their
crazy.
need, man.
It's crazy. It just made me think, because like back in the day, right, rappers used to make their money off of usually like album sales, right?
Right.
But those albums were typically the same price. Every rapper had the same price album at the record store, $10, right? But like Nip did it. He valued his album at $100, or was it $1,000?
It was $100.
Yeah.
$100, yeah. So like, and that was crazy back then, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's just dope, because when you say that, it's like people can use that mentality with anything they want to do.
100.
And at that point, you don't have to be the price point as what everyone else is paying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You could, based on your value, you could get paid off what that person wants to pay you.
Yeah, I'm guilty. I bought Kanye's little thingy.
Which one?
That sounds so sketch.
You bought the stem player.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It looks so fun, though. Yeah, Germ has one.
That shit is dope.
Yeah, it looks so fun.
I wish you, and maybe you can, like, load your own stems.
I think you can.
Yeah.
But I'm bummed that he didn't put Donda 2 just out to the public, because that proved it, that like, no, like the medium is streamed. That's how I would listen to it. And so I didn't consume Donda 2
off the stem
player, but I bought it because I thought I want, I love the guy.
Yeah. I mean, you have the through the wire tat on the leg. So before we get into some questions that we asked on our Instagram, I wanted to get your thoughts on TikTok. And because I know you go heavy on Reels and I think YouTube Shorts as well, right? But what are your thoughts on TikTok?
No, I think TikTok and YouTube are like going head to head right now. And
on the short form?
The short form, but just even like what the platforms are. So the reason why Instagram necessarily wouldn't be like the best place to build something is because, yes, your content eventually dies and then it has no value. TikTok, although they had an algorithm where they'll push you in front of millions and then it would die, now they're becoming like a search-based thing where people are learning things in a very short amount of time. And you can actually, I saw a TikTok the other day, like this girl breaking it down, like here's how to make a tutorial on TikTok so that people find it in search. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
But here's what's crazy about YouTube. YouTube announced that next year they're going to start paying creators out of ads sense for shorts. So right now TikTok uses a fund. So the more people that go viral on TikTok, the less people are getting paid because it's just a fund that's dedicated to pay creators.
Got it.
Where YouTube's actually just going to share the ad revenue as they have been doing with their regular videos. But as of late, they've been using the shorts fund. So same idea. That's why you don't really make much on shorts. You know, we have one that's about to hit like 8 or 9 million views. I think it's made $100 or
pennies,
what?
bro.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fucking
crazy.
It's just pennies.
Damn, $100 for 9 million?
Right.
Yeah, because some of mine have been hitting like 9, 10 million, and it's like with the amount that you get for a 9 million video, it's like it's almost criminal, but also at the same time, it's short form. So
Right.
I mean, can you complain?
I mean,
It's
so
true.
I do think, you know, it'll be like a head-to-head battle, but just with YouTube having the long form stuff, I do think YouTube will always be king.
Yeah.
Just because they are the video platform. I even think one prediction we kind of have is YouTube will potentially dominate the podcasting space. And I say that by, you know, you have like your SoundCloud, your Buzzsprout, your whatever you syndicate your podcast from. But the moment YouTube becomes an RSS feeder, then this is what I believe. You'll be able to deem this upload a podcast, and it'll take the audio from that video and then put it onto Apple Podcasts, put it onto Spotify, do all those things for you. And that would just be one little uptick that you can click, or, you know.
Right.
And most people are discovering podcasts not on the podcast platforms. They're discovering them on YouTube,
Bro.
and you know, reels and stuff like. But for the most part, you find a podcast, you watch it on there, and then if you're a listener, you then subscribe to it. So YouTube, I believe, is still king, but TikTok may be queen.
I mean, in the last 6 months, I've consumed all my podcast content on YouTube. I haven't I haven't touched Apple Podcasts, I haven't touched Spotify. It's all been from YouTube. And now that they have the in-player function where you can swipe out and still listen, it's
Do you pay for YouTube Red?
Yeah.
So me too. So that's our experience.
Yeah.
I think for podcasters, I have a feeling that they're gonna just let that slide.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's a new feature for everybody. Like that, you can't lock and listen, but you can swipe out of the app and it'll become a mini player.
Oh, okay.
And
Dude,
as
that's
you
fire.
use your phone.
but you can't lock it. I mean, that's the one thing that we can do that others can't. But they did add that. And
I mean,
so
I
you
think
guys
that
can
was
still-
that's a video podcast play.
Yeah.
That they've let people access that for sure. So
So you
kinda
guys
crazy.
could lock yours on red.
yeah.
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 And it just don't get hit with ads. I
Yes.
literally, I judge so hard now. Like when somebody tries to show me a video and then they get hit with their ad, I'm like, bro, you don't even get guacamole.
That's me, dog.
That's
Yeah.
So it's worth it because like everyone's telling me like, yo, you don't have YouTube Red?
To me, it's worth it.
You don't
bro.
value your time, Mers.
That's true.
Imagine waiting
you put
30.
it that way, and I'm watching the freaking 15-second ad because
Yeah.
I gotta go through the whole thing because I already
Yeah.
did the 5-second
Well, because
skip.
now I'm
right?
gambling because I
No.
might get the skip.
Yeah,
But now it's 1 out of 3.
it's like
insane.
damn. Okay.
Especially when we every time we manually put ads on our videos, I'm like, you guys just got to get premium. Like that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Damn. Okay. How much
Yeah.
is it?
12.
$12 a
And it
month.
comes with all the like is that the TV?
No,
thing
you don't
too?
get YouTube TV.
Nah,
It
it's just
just-
no ads.
it's
But
trying to
to
get
me, man, it's worth it.
It's
I
my
didn't,
TV.
I didn't think it was worth it,
Yeah,
and then
that's true.
I used it for a month. I did the free trial, and then I took it off, and then I started getting the ads again, and I was like, "There's no way I'm doing this
Yeah.
again. I'm not dealing with ads."
And I actually genuinely love YouTube. Like
Yeah.
I watch it on when I
Same.
sit down on the TV, I put on the YouTube app on the television, and that's how I get.
Same.
Yeah, YouTube. No,
Entertain.
YouTube is dope, man. That's definitely one of my favorite apps on any.
It's
TV,
crazy,
phone.
crazy thinking about, like, I remember sitting in my ceramics class in high school and someone being like, hey, did you see Kobe's 81-point game? And I was like, no, I missed it, you know. And he's like, well, you can watch every shot on YouTube. I was like, YouTube? Like, and it took 3 minutes for him to be like,
Yeah.
YouTube. And like he pulls it up and I was like, this is okay. No, I mean, but I just remember that and I was like, dang, YouTube. And then Charlie bit me and then, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing.
It's crazy to think about that, and then he turns into the, "Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back." It's insane what time does.
No worries.
So have you on the has the Think Media team been posting on TikTok at all?
Yeah, there's an official Think Media that, you know, we have short form editors and they're doing it. Again, I mean, it's almost weird because it's like, I think unless you care about it, is it really, I mean, I know we're dumping stuff on it. We don't, but we don't care about it. You know, it's just kind of like a tactic, like, hey, we should be posting. I did for a little bit and I just got lazy and I probably shouldn't have, but I'm probably willing to pay somebody to just take whatever reels that I decide to post and just throw it on there.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But yeah,
it's crazy because you're still seeing so much success without like actively posting on there.
Sure.
When that's like our bread and butter, like that's where most of our patrons come from, is from TikTok.
That's fire.
So it's just interesting to see that there's so many different ways to approach. Like you don't have to do one thing to be successful.
100. And I also think the world's big. Like you know, like the second I just, you know, learn about how my friend's dad like digs up and maintains you know, wells, like water wells in Washington, and he has zero marketing and he's a multimillionaire. Like the world's big.
Yeah. What do you like? Obviously, we've seen YouTube go from that to this, right? Where do you guys see like digital media going in 10 years, 15 years? Like, do you guys ever think about that? Think.
The branding.
You know what I mean? Like, do you guys ever like just not just on a business level? Like, do you ever just sit back like, man, I wonder where we'll be in 10 years?
No, I mean, I think the one thing I can think about is that people that are sowing seed now, you know, will have the opportunity to do whatever they want, and the conglomerates will lose, and we're seeing that conglomerate news are losing their voice to a Joe Rogan, like straight up. And so I just think it'll just be more players. You know, I think there'll just be more people being able to produce content consistently at a high level, and that's going to be people's form of entertainment. Like you know, and it won't be ran by a network or what have you, because it'll just be on a platform.
But do you ever just also think like, what will be our new form of entertainment that we're going to consume that's different from the social media we see now, the TikTok that we see now? Like, every time I think about that, I don't know what it is. Well, obviously it's not there, but it's like, it's so hard to imagine. Just like how it's so hard to imagine how we're consuming entertainment now.
Right.
20 years ago, it's hard to imagine that this is where we're going to be.
No, 100. I think I think about like the failed platforms, like, you know, like Vine. You know, how many people are creators now because they figured out Vine, and they figured out how to do, take a, you know, in a short attention span,
right, and
entertain somebody. And then, you know, Clubhouse, you know, everybody was like, oh, you got to get on Clubhouse. There was like there were so many Clubhouse experts. I was like, that's the scary thing, is like, as the new stuff, whatever it might be, as it comes out, you'll just, that people saying they are experts are becoming like, it's, you know, almost like this normalized first step, you know, which, whatever. It's because it's like, who's first, right? You know?
Oh,
but
okay.
I think at the end of the day, dude, honestly, I don't know. I think just at the end of the day, I think video will just be it, whether it be, you know, I guess my vision is that it'll still be the same.
That'd be crazy.
But it won't be, because that's obviously never been the case.
I think it's crazy. I remember when you brought up the Shredditor thing, I remember Gary Vee saying a while ago, 6-7 years ago, that he's like, all CEOs and entrepreneurs are going to have cameramen following them around. And I was like, I thought it was a funny statement, until I started seeing all these CEOs and people like following them, and I'm like, wow, that's such a valuable thing to have, because like people are documenting you in a 24-hour span. You can come out with at least 6 months of content.
No, for sure,
in a whole day.
Yeah, I have a friend who's local here. His name is Ryan Pineda. He started, you know, he home investments, you know, flipping couches, like teaching people how to make money. It was kind of his thing.
Yeah, and
he was doing real estate on the side. And somebody told him in 2020, not even that long ago, like, hey, man, you should probably start posting stuff on TikTok. And he's like, man, whatever.
Yeah.
And he just started going off. He has a cool haircut, or, you know, some people don't think it's cool. I think it's cool.
Yeah. It's dope, man. Has a little,
a little swoop. But dude, he just went all in on content. And like, because he had the funds to like immediately hire 3 people full time, he was able to scale quick. But like, this dude can, he'll and his NFT project, he's like, yo, I got NFTs. $2 million.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's the power of personal branding. But in a sense, he's a CEO guy that just started getting video people around him. And but he's still a marketer though. So that's the skill that CEOs would still need to get. Because I'm learning, if you just hire a videographer, follow you around, and they don't know what to do with the content, they don't know how to like angle it or even position it, then it could be a loss altogether.
Or even repurpose it, because that's a huge part of it. Because if you're taking one huge piece of content, like, how are you going to take 24 different bits out of
Right.
that. You have to like, you kind of have to have that skill.
And actually, that intuition or that skill of making a short form of content have all the context it needed. Actually, I learned in church because I was making promo videos for conferences and stuff. And so when we would have a conference, I would get the guest speaker. I would see their like sermon, and I'd be like, oh, this is a fire clip, and it makes sense with like the theme of the conference, and I can do it in 15 seconds and make it go to music. So that is a skill acquired over time.
Yeah.
I think it's an intuition to know that like this video clip doesn't need context. It alone stands alone and all that stuff. So yeah, dude, it's a lot when you start thinking about it. But at the same time, if you just lock in, you can figure it out.
Figure it out, man.
Everything's figure outable.
Facts.
I love that. I love
Fire.
that saying. Everything is figure outable.
I think people, there's probably more of that shredder going on as we are aware of, because like as we saw with the Kanye doc, someone followed him around since '98, and then like
Yeah, he had
LeBron's
it.
about to have one.
Bro, he had
Cootie-
it down.
Yeah, Cootie,
He
my fault.
knew, man.
Yeah, he knew it. So we're probably going to see a ton of like documentaries of just some people having their person around.
No, for sure.
Yeah. You guys have any other personal questions for Omar, or something that you want to reflect on before we get into questions from the Instagram? A funny
Personal
story?
questions.
Dude, man, how's your daughter? How's Ruby doing, man?
Yeah, dude, Ruby, based on when this video or audio drops, will turn 4 November 5th.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Let's
Yeah.
get it, man.
Dude, she's so fun. Yeah, we're in a new, I mean, us as a family, we're in like a new season because for the last 3.5 years, Amanda just, stay at home mom, raised her every day.
Yeah.
And she started going to preschool in September. And so Amanda got her real estate license. And so,
Awesome.
we're
man.
about to go nuts on that. Hopefully.
dope, man.
Amanda's doing good too.
Yeah, she's doing good. She's excited. It's crazy. I'm learning so much of how having a kid, what a kid does to a woman. Like
Yeah.
just it changes them. Like she didn't see herself necessarily like all that it would do to her, like on a heart standpoint. And what's cool about like her doing this real estate stuff is it's given her like a new sense of like, dang, she's like, I haven't like had to learn something in a long time because everything's reactionary and parenting.
Yeah.
So in her mind, like it was a good thing for her mind to even just go to real estate school and get her, take the test and all that stuff. But yeah, she's doing well.
Damn, congrats
That's
to her,
dope, man.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouts to Ruby. Happy birthday. Early birthday.
How was the transition from being to becoming a father? Like, was there anything you were afraid of or nervous about before? Everything.
I think it's funny because like I still feel like a child.
Yeah.
No, I think it just happens. Like I mean, it's like whether we honestly didn't plan for Ruby, and I'm grateful she's here. But it grows you up. I think marriage grows you up.
Yeah.
And then having a kid, it just grows you up. But at the same time, there's so much of the intuition that because she's yours, it just you realize what she needs, and it's cool. But it's cool to see. My favorite thing to see is see the life she already has because of the life me and Amanda live. And not just because, not like I don't say that in the sense of like I'm just better than everybody else, but like we do life with awesome people. We're consistent. We go to church. Like church is normalized. She knows. Like Amanda, or Ruby, you can be like, "Hey, Ruby, what's Proverbs 3:5?" And she'll be like, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't lean on your own understanding.
Yeah.
In all your ways, acknowledge Him." Like she knows Scripture. I'm like, "Let's go."
Yeah, it's
like
amazing.
I think she's gonna be all right. And I think that's the cool thing about it is just the amount of influence. Somebody told me who has like 8-9 kids, and he was like a YouTuber guy, a Mormon dude, and he was just saying like I just believe that there is no higher level of influence despite all the stuff that he has going on than, kids. Like that's how you actually change the world. Mm-hmm. And so kind of convicting because like I like having one kid, but maybe we'll have another one.
Maybe you'll have an army.
Get 8 or 9, you know what I'm
Get a
saying?
little football team going.
Just be that dad.
Starting 5.
Big baller brand.
Follow brand. The Shredder University kids.
They started it.
They started. All right, so we asked some questions from our Instagram. I hate to go really broad with the first question, but this was like the number one question we got. It was tips on starting a podcast.
Oh, no way. That was like
the number one question we got.
That's crazy. Dude, I mean, that's a great, I think, the simple answer on, the first thing is to just start, just start talking. Is that what you guys did? You said that we hung out anyway. Might as well just record our voices and turn on the camera.
Exactly.
So I think there's just a level of just starting. But if you want to reverse engineer, I do think it's wise to know what your podcast is about. So, you guys have been able to, architect it over time. But I think if you're just starting, it's really wise if you started a podcast around something you knew and could speak into, And so I would dial in kind of like the word is niche. Like if you can dial in the niche of it or the topics you're generally going to cover, then that would be it. And then I would say just get really good at planning out your podcast. Like I love that you guys actually take time to plan because you can actually architect your podcast to be leveraged later on simply because you planned. You didn't show up and you're like, all right, what are we gonna talk about today? I don't know, man. But we're gonna react to what Kanye's doing right now on Instagram. We're gonna and being strategic about that stuff can actually really get you out there. And so, yeah, I would say dial in your niche and then get really good at planning out your podcast. And then simply repurpose that sucker as much as you can.
Yeah, I think that's the key is repurposing.
Yeah, I have a video. I mean, I think if you search how to start a podcast, I believe I rank 1 or 2.
Let's go. Dude.
And it's I break it down. Like I do think, obviously get it like on a technical standpoint, get a good mic.
Yeah.
You could use your phone in your closet, but like if you have a decent mic and you could turn on a camera, I think people fail who just start audio podcasts because you're missing out on leveraging. Even if you don't post the full thing, at least you could, take it and post it on social, the video that you record. But yeah, I mean, I would say check out that video.
Hell yeah.
You telling me I know the guy that's telling millions of people how to start a podcast?
He's right here.
He's right here, man.
And I ain't never.
Look at him in the thumbnail.
Look at him, dude. Crispy setup. Let's go.
Let's get it, man. Let's
Hell
get
yeah.
it.
Okay, cool. How to keep growing on Reels and TikTok?
I think the only play that you can have is just to be consistent.
Yeah.
Just post consistently. Find the schedule for you. For me, right now it's 1 a day. But then I listen to people that are like, dude, if you're posting 1 a day, you're losing. And I'm like, okay,
oh, wow.
It never ends,
It never does.
But I definitely think it's choosing what you can sustain, and that's even the tip for YouTube. Like a lot of people are like, how many times should I upload? And I'm like, dude, if you could sustain, 2 quality uploads a week, run it, but if you can't even do that, don't sacrifice, the quality and also your sanity to just get videos up. But, if you have a process dialed, I think once a day is fair. And don't overthink the process too. Like I always say if there's if there's something valuable in the piece of content, just drop that sucker, dude.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it.
When you post something, do you like post it and then forget about it, or do you post it and then like 5 minutes later, like, let me see how's it doing right now?
I definitely forget about it because I know it's gonna do its thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'll check it 10 minutes later. I hit the refresh and say, did it catch wind? No, I didn't catch wind yet. It's okay. I mean,
Are you heavy in the comments? In the comment section?
I am. I mean, if people ask me a genuine question, I am more, engaging in. If you take the time to DM me, dude, I'll voice memo you an answer. And I mean, a lot of people's questions usually come from a place of like not knowing that I already have a video on something.
Yeah.
So yeah, the other day I posted a video on like, hey, I'm about to do this like, online event, and I'm having this camera recording me on the side. And then people are like, oh, dang, he posted the camera clip from the recording on the side that he was on the thing. Because a lot of people think I'm faking it, by the way. When I'm talking to my screen, they're like, dude, are you like actually doing something? But, everybody's like, dude, what camera? Like,
yeah.
Go to Think Media.
That's got to be your number one question. What camera are you using?
What camera? And 100. And I have a hard time giving that answer, too, because like different cameras serve different needs. Like if you don't think you'll do this, then you could probably go with this.
Yeah.
Oh, but if you need stabilization, then you probably will need this, So it is, what's weird is like my brain understands all the cameras though.
Yeah.
Like at first I thought it was normal. Now like I know this like distinct features on cameras because they serve different needs,
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Well, let me save you the trouble from having to make voice memos. So what camera are you using right now?
So right now, like what? So like I'm always testing cameras, but which
No,
camera?
like right now.
This camera.
joint right
This
now,
camera
yeah.
Yes.
that they haven't seen, but Omar brought one.
Yeah, Omar brought one.
Which I think is so smart.
So
Yeah, it's
fire.
fire.
It's
I
so
knew
smart.
it too. Like,
And
I was- when I
I'm
seen you
wireless
send out-
lav because I don't know how long it'll take you to get me the audio. So I'm just taking
Oh,
matters in my
man,
own hands.
Bro, you guys
Smart.
talk about
Let's
me
go.
like being content king. Like this is like
This is
know,
content
This is
king.
content.
You got the
king.
wireless on
Content
right now.
shredder, bro.
Just in case.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I literally can drop a clip tonight from
So
this.
smart,
You know,
yeah.
but
Let's get
this camera in particular is the Sony A7C. It's a full frame Sony camera, and I have a 50 millimeter on it, so it gives that nice blurry background. Rode Wireless Go 2. It's a wireless mic, so I have it clipped on my shirt, capturing crispy audio. And what's cool about this camera is not only does it have a flip out screen, it also has IBIS, which is in body image stabilization. So if you wanted to vlog with a camera like this, it's great. It's also small. And the biggest part though is its battery life meets no record limit. So for a podcast, if you were doing long form podcasts, a camera like this would be trustworthy. It probably won't overheat if you're got some decent air going around. But
Yeah.
Sony A7C.
Which in my opinion kicks any Canon camera out the game, because like the record limit on a Canon, which is still like in 2022,
Yeah.
it's
all
insane,
jacked.
bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, because
yeah.
we had an era where we had to hit re-record every 30 minutes.
Right.
Oh, that was my
It's-
first job.
Yeah, we literally hired
crazy,
somebody
my first job.
to turn it on
That's
and off.
wild. No, yeah. What's crazy about that's so funny. But hey, you're at the front now, dude. Congratulations.
Bro, I sat there and would press record and wait 30
No,
minutes.
yeah.
And then-
No, I remember you, and then you were the guy in the corner with the mic stand, and it would
Yeah.
cut to you, and then
Yeah.
now you're
Now you're
You're the
here, man.
comedic
Next to you,
timing.
bro. Let's get it, man.
no. And what was the question? I forgot what we were
we were
talking
just talking about record limit and.
Oh yeah, no.
how-
What's crazy is like Canon was like, well, number one, let's back up. Nikon was the first camera. I remember the ad, Nikon D9, I believe it was, and it was the first DSLR camera that recorded video, and it was like, dang, like you can make movies for like an affordable cost, you know?
Right, yeah.
Right.
And then quickly Canon made it more affordable with like the T3i, and I think Canon ran the game for so long, and Sony just, I think, listened to creators. I think that's what happened, is like they just started, what are features they needed. I actually was invited to a Sony camp once, and they let us play with a camera before it was released, and they literally had their guys there, and they were like, had their notepads out. They're like, what do you want to see in the next camera? And like creators are like 10-bit, this, that, the other, like, and I think they did it with 2 or 3 years later with the Sony A7 S3.
Yeah.
It literally has everything someone would want if you were, doing filmmaking, videography, or content creation. But yeah, Sony, I think, is running the game right now.
Yeah, Sony.
Easily.
That's fire, dude.
I'm not even a Sony guy. I love Canon to the death, but like the record limit is probably like the number one thing that just irks me about Canon cameras. Is just like because if we're moving into a place where podcasting is going to be at the top of the food chain,
Right. Yeah.
we gotta get that. We gotta get that fixed. I've been complaining about that for so long. Like the fact that you have to hack your camera into like doing what you need it to.
No,
it's
100.
ridiculous.
Well, Canon
So-
need to have a camp, man, and start listening to these creators, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That doesn't make sense to me. Like if you're a company and most of your sales are, I don't know if most of your sales
Yeah.
are coming from creators, but if a large majority of the consumers are creators, why not take like the top 5 or 10 creators, get them in a place and ask them like, what is it exactly that you want? What do you use in camera? Like, what are you looking for?
No, yeah, I mean, it's funny how you say that, because number one, you have people working at these conglomerates that like don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Like they're getting a salary,
Yeah.
and they just
They're like out of touch of like what really
exactly,
happens.
exactly. And we have a theory that like we believe Canon went in on like a quadrillion sensors, and they've just been trying to make it work. Like they've been putting them in like cameras and then making the bodies differently because
Yeah.
it's just plastic or whatever. But like, when they release a new camera, I'm like, dude, that has the same specs as the other
Yeah.
one. It's like, dude, you guys just probably, and they actually, I think they bought their sensors from Sony or something, but
Yeah.
that's kind of like insider stuff. But that's my theory. My theory is like they're doing everything they can to get to make new sensors so that
Yeah.
they can like do the things that Sony has been doing. But
when really we don't care about the sensors. Like we want we want something else.
We just
Yeah.
want the record time, right? That's what we looking for.
record
That's it,
time,
man.
no,
Just add that.
without overheating.
Yeah, come on, let me record in 4K without it overheating. Like
Yeah.
that would be nice. So
I remember I got my GoPro and first, like I went from like 720p to 4K, right? That's like my next thing was this GoPro. And I recorded 4K and my shit shut off like in 10 minutes because it got too hot. And I didn't know that that's what happens.
Yeah.
And I never used 4K since, man. It turned me off.
Dude, I just got done making a video. I think it drops tomorrow on a Nikon that's like $5,500.
Yeah.
It was a brand deal, but this thing shoots 8K 60 frames per second.
Damn.
I know. Raw, which is like, that all sounds gnarly, but like essentially it's just like a very forward camera. I thought it was pretty cool, but overkill for sure right now.
Yeah, 55 for 55 bands.
That's wild.
Or 55
bands.
55 bills.
Imagine, bro.
55 band camera.
Hey, man, value is subjective, right? I mean,
Right.
55 bands.
Yeah,
Someone's gonna buy it.
The
Someone
industry.
will.
Industry. Ain't nobody buying that.
I ain't buying that.
Another question we got is: do you have any software or extensions used to enhance your workflow?
Dude, that's a great question. I think number one is just learning how to speed up your workflow. I mean, always knowing that a question I always ask myself is, can this be done faster without compromising quality? You know, and I do when I watch over the shoulder of people who they're editing, or I see them, you know, take a project into an editing software. I'm just like, dude,
It's gotta piss you off. Dude.
they don't know workflow. Like,
Yeah.
and so it's not necessarily a software more than it is like you, the user, you know, like you, the user should have a workflow. And so, you know, when I edit in Premiere, I have keyboard shortcuts that don't allow my hand to be lifted off the keyboard, and I don't have to lift my hand off the mouse. And so, you know, new people are doing this like a ton of times, just moving off and on, and that's just adding more time. But I have keyboard shortcuts that will trim and then bring the next clip close to it. And so I'm able to like do things really quickly, but it's just knowing that like you have to learn that stuff.
Yeah.
Same with like a camera. Like people are like, dude, what camera should I buy? I'm like, it doesn't matter, because if you don't know how to use it,
Yeah,
it's
there's
not
no
going to look
point.
good. You know, people are always like, dude, I bought the camera you said. I'm like, you don't listen to the settings, bro. But no, I actually have gotten very passionate about workflow because I've learned that it makes me more money to be faster at my work. And so when I was when I learned that you can actually rate images, when I was taking photos for weddings and stuff, you can rate images in camera. So throughout a wedding day, I would rate the images after I have a break. And then when I upload them to Lightroom, which is where I edit all the photos, I would just put the filter on and I'm met with all the best photos. Put my filter, shift all, command shift all or whatever, and then paste. And then boom, I ship off the thing, and the couples get their photos in a week. And then the other photographers are taking like 90 days, six months.
Damn,
And it's like,
90 days
Yeah.
to get the win. Bro, I'm about to hire you, dog.
you get married?
1 week.
Soon.
Oh,
Eventually, I might.
did you propose?
Nah.
That threw him off for sure.
Nah. That's in the planning stages, man. That's the next album.
What are you afraid of?
Nothing. I'm trying to get let me do my thing, man. People watch this, man. People watch this, bro. I got my plans. I got my ideas, man.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a new album, bro.
Yeah.
It'll be ready.
Hell yeah! What your when you said your fingers don't lift, it reminded me of my workflow, because I said this to myself a long time ago. I was like, if I'm not looking like I'm playing the piano while I'm editing, then there's something that's missing in my workflow.
That's legit.
So I really like dialed in my shortcuts, all my because shortcuts are that's the moneymaker right there.
100.
So
Yeah, I mean,
shortcuts.
when I learned even like how to edit multi-angle editing in Premiere, like you can just put it in a place where you hit play, and I just make real life cuts.
Yeah.
And if I proxy the footage, I can use 4K files and move at double time speed and then do it. And so my computer isn't bogged down because it's communicating all workflow stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But it just, I think you just have to believe that there's probably a faster way, and then you can unlock
Do you
it.
have a video on workflow?
Oh yeah, tons.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
So there you go.
you know.
There you go. So the answer to any software extensions used to enhance workflow is yourself.
Yes.
Yo,
It's
facts.
you. You are the extension.
You are. Yo, facts. That is very true. We only got a couple more. What are your thoughts on software dedicated to remote podcasting, such as Riverside?
Oh, dude, Riverside's awesome. I think the question you want to ask yourself is, what do you care most about? So Riverside maintains a high quality file for you. So if you want to edit your, online interview after the fact, it's awesome for that.
Yeah.
However, you still have to edit it. And so another, web-based software we use to live stream and do, podcast interviews and stuff is StreamYard. and StreamYard has the ability to like do transitions while it's going live or while it's capturing in real time, and it eliminates the editing process essentially. So which you can't do with Riverside necessarily. So but there's a loss of quality there. So we can only do 1080, but Riverside you can capture 4K or even like your actual quality the camera is producing. So I mean the question is, do you want to have a super crispy interview show? Or do you want to not have to worry about editing altogether?
Yeah.
And when I think about, I mean, let's talk about it. You guys shoot your stuff on phones. Content value is more important than production value.
Yeah.
So if the interview is very strong and then the audio is solid, then I wouldn't care too much about quality.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the audio is what's gonna carry. You can't. I mean, I remember learning this in school, and it didn't make sense until we started doing this podcast. But it's like you can't. You can watch a butt or a low quality video.
Anyone can.
If it has great audio, but you can't do it in the reverse. You can't watch a high quality video with butt audio.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I called it, I mean, I'd like to say that 50% of the video viewing experience is an audio listening experience.
Yeah.
And so you got to value how does this thing sound.
Yeah. And I think we sound pretty, I mean, you know.
We sound good.
I think we sound
Dude, Shure SM58, SM7B.
Yeah.
We were all on these, and then
Yeah, why'd you guys drop this? Just
This is more dynamic.
No,
like
yeah,
you can
I
like,
feel that.
you know, that feels like not to like make your experience
dude,
worse,
I'm
but
about
like
it, though. I'm about the fact that you gave me this mic. I'm like this.
yeah, I just like being able to move and do my own thing.
Yeah.
Last question: tips for managing personal and work life,
Tips for managing,
especially working from home.
That's a good one, bro.
Yeah, I believe it's knowing, having the self-awareness to know yourself, and if you do a job that requires a lot of your hands or your brain, and you sit in place and maybe you're messing with like tech or something or whatever in that regard. I guess a lot of people working from home are at their computers. Then you need to be able to, when you're not doing that, the trade-off of what you're doing, like you need to be doing something with your hands. You need to be in nature. Let the sun hit your face. But when it comes to like personal life and work life, I don't think the answer is balance. I believe the answer is rhythm. Because people think that you need a work-life balance. That makes no sense because I am at work 8 hours a day. So you're not at home, in the same capacity and your same awareness 8 hours a day. So how do you have a work-life balance? I think it's impossible because you can't give it one for the other. However, I think if you find the rhythm of it, and again, I think self-awareness is just a very underrated skill because if you know yourself well enough, you'll know when you're sharpest. You'll know when you start to fall out. I'm very sharp in the morning. I read a book called At Your Best by this guy named Carey Nieuwhof, and he talks about how there's 3 zones in our day. We have our green zone, our yellow zone, and our red zone. And our green zone is usually about a 2 to 5 hour window, and that for a lot of people it's in the morning or at night. And you knowing when your green zone is determines what kind of work you should be doing in that time. You should be doing your most important work in your green zone because you're at your sharpest, And so in the same way, I think that knowing yourself when you're at your best, don't give your family or your person, don't even give yourself your worst, And I think a lot of people do that. They give their everything to their hourly job and then they come home and they give their self nothing. And I would say if you're a sharp person in the morning, you need to be, don't rush out the door. Take an extra out, wake up another hour early and do something for yourself because you're sharp. You can build a side hustle with that 1 to 2 hours every day. That's 6 hours a week.
It starts to snowball.
Yeah, no, for real.
Holy shit, it's crazy to like really.
Work-life rhythm is a bar.
Yeah, that's a bar. No, but to think about also like your green zone, right? Like if your green zone is in the morning and you do have a 9 to 5 and at 9 o'clock you got to clock in, but you're best in the morning, you might as well save a couple hours and like really either a side hustle or work on yourself during that time. Because if you can give yourself the best at your best in the morning in those 2 hours, that's way more efficient than trying to do it at
100.
night after the.
And most people that I think work like regular, 40-hour-a-week jobs aren't really doing like all 8 hours aren't all productive.
Yeah.
You're probably messing around. You go in the conference rooms or whatever. So yeah, focused work is very valuable. That's kind of why I'm not trying to bag on, because I know you're buff and you like to work out. But that's why I honestly stopped working out in the morning.
Yeah.
Because working out is a mindless task. It doesn't require much thinking. And so I started getting fat. But no, I mean, I like doing it when I'm not as sharp, like because I should be planning, I should be scripting, I should be, building something, like just giving my best in the morning to something that is worth giving.
Fire, bro.
That's fire. Yeah. Well, shit. I mean, we appreciate your time, bro. You've given so much value to the audience. I mean, a lot of our audience has spoken out about wanting to start a podcast, and I think a lot of the stuff that you said in today's episode is going to be super helpful.
Yeah.
So,
all right, I have just this idea.
Okay.
What's up?
Why don't we make a course for your audience on how to start a podcast?
Dude, that would be amazing, bro.
And you can just let it live in the description.
Yeah.
And the Patreon people can get it at an early bird price point.
Yeah.
And the price only goes up the more it sells, because it's good. Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it, bro. That's a great idea, bro. What the fuck? Yeah, let's do it.
But honestly, it's just telling. I mean, that's what's cool. I mean, a lot of people are teaching people how to do something they haven't done.
Yeah.
Like, all people want from you is to teach them what you did. So you're not even trying to be necessarily the experts at it. You're just saying like, hey, here's what we did. Here's the mics we use. This is how I edit, and this is how we plan. It's letting people into that process, which is valuable, because you guys are obviously now making money with the creativity of this podcast. So there's value in it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm sorry I didn't make you guys laugh that much.
No,
but maybe I made you guys think.
Yeah,
Definitely, bro. I mean,
Gotta think for once.
definitely thinking, man. I'm over here thinking, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's over here
Mer's been
he's
thinking
still
about
thinking about that question that you guys were That's what he's
It's
talking
gonna,
about.
it's gonna come
Yeah,
down
no,
to
no,
it, man.
lay
It's
it
gonna
out,
come
my
down
bad.
to
Dude,
it,
it's so
man.
funny. Filipinos, man. I'm half Filipino. I hope everybody knows. Maybe
I
nobody
didn't
knows
know
that.
that.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, you didn't know
yeah.
that?
I would even say I'm more than half, because like my mom raised us, and it was I'm half Arab, half Filipino, but my mom, cousins. I had no family from my dad's side here, but I say all that to say Filipinos date forever.
But that's the number one. That's the number one question from aunties, bro. When
Yeah.
you pull up to the house, when you get married, number one question, bro.
You should ask them, like, how long did you guys date?
Yeah. Turn it on to them.
Like 8 years. I'm like, exactly. Yeah, man. But thanks for having me. I honestly, it was really fun, and you guys let me even think. Like, I don't think that much in regards to the history and even how I got here too much. It kind of just was and is. But super fun time, man.
Yeah. It's process, bro, and it's dope seeing it.
I can't wait to see this, bro. I'm excited to see that. If you can take
give me
anything
20
from it.
minutes.
What
What watch you got on? I've been noticing you've been getting into the timepieces.
No, I just, this is my first big boy purchase, Rolex.
Yeah.
I got a date just.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy story. I thought the podcast was ending though.
Well,
Well, I mean, I'd love to hear the story.
No, I mean, I had my first, 6-figure year in 2018, like self-made,
get it,
like
man.
Yeah.
quit my salary job, went into doing stuff, and like by the grace of God was able to make good money. And I was like, people who pass that threshold, even for a guy like me, where I don't really come from that,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'd like a Rolex. I don't know. Maybe it's the man in me. I don't know.
No.
And so Amanda was like, yeah, okay, go ahead. But what people don't tell you is that like your 100K really is like 70 because of taxes if you're a solopreneur, and like now I have to learn the tax game and all that stuff. Yeah, but anyway,
it's different.
I mean, I just felt like we were at a place where I probably can revisit it, but I didn't know much of it. I didn't know the process of how you even buy a Rolex unless you buy it, resell or something. Went to the Crystals Mall. They have nothing on display. I'm like, dude, how can I even look? I want to look at a watch, put it on my wrist,
Right.
She's like, I don't know, just let me know if there's a watch you've been looking at. I was like, I mean, I kind of want this like classic piece, black face, 41 with the fluted bezel and the Jubilee band. And she's like, okay, I'll put your name down. And then 6 months later,
Yeah.
so this was August, she gives me a call. And she's like, hey, Omar, your watch came in. When can you come buy it? I was like, oh, my watch. And so, went in. It was a cool little experience, and bought myself a Rolly.
Hell
I didn't know
yeah.
it was like
Let's
that. Because
get it,
I
man.
joke around with him because I know I joke around like, oh, I'm looking into this watch or whatever, but I noticed that you did have the rolling on. I was like, I gotta ask about it.
Yeah, I asked my friend for like, I was like, dude, should I do it? And he was like, bro, if you don't do it now, you'll never do it. And I was like, all right. And then, dude, it's cool. I know, and I know it'll hold its full value. I think right now it's a little bit more than how much I bought it for. I messed around with a fake AP for a while. I had a
That's what I was gonna ask you about.
but I shortly after I was rocking the replica, I was tired of people asking me if it was real. So I'm like,
what?
why are people asking me? Nobody asked me if this Rolly was fake.
Right,
What the
right.
heck?
We were wondering about
I was wondering about that.
Oh no, yeah, okay. So I did get a replica Audemars Piguet.
Yeah.
And dude, it was cool. There was a few guys that were really rich that were like, bro, I don't buy real watches. I was like, all right, bet. We
Me
in this
either.
together. So,
Nice.
but G-Shock dropped a watch that had the same. They modeled it after the Royal Oak.
Yeah.
It's called the GA 2100. And dude, I saw there's this cult following around this watch because you can put it in a AP case. And so I bought the G-Shock. So for the last year and a half, I've been wearing a G-Shock, but it looks like an AP.
Yeah, because it's such
That's
a
wild.
you can tell like it's such a distinct face.
Yeah,
like
for
you,
sure.
you I mean, in all your videos, I'm like, damn, Think Media is doing well.
And dude, honestly, I mean, if I can get it at retail, I'll be down to smack it all day. But
Yeah.
at the same time, nah, dude, this is the first time I went public and told everybody it was replica.
Hell yeah, dude. Look at the inside scoop.
But
right
fake
here.
it till you make it.
Yeah, here we are.
No,
All right,
I'm just
guys, that's it. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Make videos.
Peace.